2 ways to keep momentum when you study Korean. Welcome back to another video at KSTYLEYO. My name is Inyoung. If you're new here and want to learn Korean language and culture, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so that you don't miss anything in the future. So today I'm gonna talk about 2 ways to keep momentum when you study Korean. This video is somewhat related to the video I made last week, how to stay motivated when studying Korean. If you haven't watched the video, click the I button and watch the video afterwards. In this video, I'm gonna be specifically talking about momentum and 2 key things you can implement from today to keep your momentum. Let's first talk about the definition of momentum. There are 2 meanings that came out in the Google dictionary. The first one is the quantity of a motion of a moving body, measured as a product of its mass and velocity. The second one is the impetus gained by a moving object. For example, the vehicle gained momentum as the road dipped. Now that we understand the definition, here are 2 key things to keep momentum. The first one is consistency. Second one is reduce complexity. Let's dive into each category, starting with consistency. As to the nature of learning anything, particularly language, repetition is the key. You learn a couple of words and phrases and you never use them. You're probably gonna forget about them. Thus, you need to keep repeating what you study while learning something new. Repetition is correlated to consistency. And I find consistency is a fundamental way to keep your momentum while studying Korean. When you study Korean, the more frequently you go back and review, the better. However, if you don't have consistency for a long term, you may lose interest and stop it at some point. Regardless of how frequently you study Korean, you need to have consistency by deciding to study on certain days of the week and stick to the schedule. If you stick to what you plan to do for a long period of time, that becomes a habit which creates momentum. It's like you're not even thinking about when or what to do, but your body is already used to it and produces a velocity of learning Korean. And the second part is reduce complexity. Reducing complexity is actually helping you to have consistency. I learned this strategy from Tony Robbins. His famous quote is, "Complexity is the enemy of execution." You may always think about studying Korean, but if you don't execute your ideas, it's useless. How many times do you tell all kinds of excuses to yourself? I'm lazy, I don't have time to study. Learning the language is too difficult. Let's boil it down to one thing that you want to improve Korean about, that makes you feel satisfied about the progress. If you say improving vocabulary, then start with 1 word a day. It's really hard to execute your plan if you're already feeling overwhelmed before you even started. When you reduce complexity, it'll be easier for you to take actions and start building momentum. If you do that repeatedly for a long period of time, you'll be surprised how much you have improved Korean. Someone said, often people overestimate what can be achieved for a short period of time, but underestimate what you can achieve for a long period of time. I encourage you to think about learning Korean as a journey you take on for a long period, not something that you become fluent overnight. If you enjoyed this video today, make sure to give it a like, share this video with your friends and family who may benefit from this video. I love to hear from you about your experience on keeping momentum, and leave your comments down below. And I see you guys next time. Bye bye. Thank you.
안녕.